Hey everybody, this is Jim Hackenberg with Orange Whip Golf and Fitness. Today I'm joined with Stan Utley, PGA member, PGA Tour winner, and short game expert. Now, it's springtime, I'm getting ready to play a season long of summer events. I want to get my short game going. Chipping and pitching have always kind of been an issue for me. I'm trying to get better. Stan's helped me. We developed the Orange Whip Wedge together. But Stan, talk a little bit about the difference between chipping and pitching. What is the difference?
The difference between pitching and chipping is words. Like, I like to say there are shots. Every shot is different. I wrote some short game books. I use the word chipping, I use the word pitching, but really I hate to use those words because when you're facing a shot around a green, you have a lot to deal with. Generally, you're thinking about hitting it in the air and landing it someplace and then it rolls. Everyone's different. So really you're controlling the loft and the run out, or the trajectory and the run out. And I have endless options for that relative to how fast I swing. The key is this club is engineered with the bounce behind the lead edge. So I'm always trying to land the bounce and skid the back edge of the club, no matter whether I'm chipping or pitching, no matter the trajectory. What I do to manage the loft is I manage the loft in the backswing. So if I had a neutral shot where I'm just hitting a neutral trajectory, I would call that about a square club face. If I went back and I hooded it and I turned the face down by moving my arms this way in the backswing, that might be what you'd call a chip or a runner.
Okay.
If I rolled my arms to the right, now I would call that an open club face. That hits a higher, softer shot. So the technique, the genius behind your Orange Whip Wedge is it has people feel the load and unload of the shaft. If you're a handle dragger, you're a late accelerator, what you're doing with the Orange Whip Wedge is you're making it come into impact with the shaft bowed backwards. Good players, when you watch them hit balls, when they get to impact, the shaft is bowed this way. So it's bowed backwards. I misspoke. This would be bowed forward. That's an error. So when I'm pitching and chipping, I'm actually raising my body up and decelerating the speed of the grip and the turn of my body so that I can get the head to kick. It doesn't matter whether I have the shaft hooded and kick it de-lofted or have the shaft have the face open and kick it lofted. That just controls my trajectory and my rollout. My move and my delivery of the energy is always the same.
That's wonderful to hear because I don't like complications. So if I can simplify it and hit all those shots simply by adjusting the club face or the line or the loft angle would be much easier.
And I'm not saying that I don't square it up a little more for low at address or open it a little bit for high ones, but I do most of my face management in my takeaway. And then another thing that I see that's key for people is, I like to say you have two bones in your forearm. You know what these two bones are, Jim?
Radia and ulna or something?
The top bone and the bottom bone. Let's keep it simple again. Okay? So I hung out with Lee Trevino just a little bit, and he made it very clear to me that when we turn back, we can do whatever we want to with the face, but when we turn through, the top bone should rotate more through than the bottom bone. Most people that are pulling and scooping, they have the bottom bone leading, and what happened is their forearms are turning the opposite direction they're turning. That's a really bad thing. So I call a positive forearm rotation when I'm rotating the direction I'm turning. If I'm rotating the opposite direction, that's a negative rotation. I never want my arms spinning backwards. So I'm going to turn and set the club on plane. I'm going to pivot tall. I want this end pretty quiet. I don't want this end accelerating. That lets the Orange Whip Wedge kick and cover with my positive forearm rotation. You'll get the bottom and the contact good, and you'll start managing the trajectory with how you set the club in the takeaway.
So first and foremost is getting that motion. Worrying about the club face would be level two.
Second.
Got it. Perfect.
All right, that's chipping and pitching. You want to hit one?
Yeah. So with the Orange Whip Wedge, I'm going to get in my normal stance, and you just want me to kind of first just get this head moving, get a feel for that. And then as I start to rotate or move, This,
So you just went down on the down. You went down with your body on the downswing. When the club's going down, you need to get up.
okay. So I'm
When
back.
you get up, the handle goes up and the club goes down. That's much better.
Yeah, that's so different than I used to because I was always dipping, but that's why I would chunk and
But
blade.
Jim, you do not get to feel special. Everybody struggling with chipping is dipping.
Exactly.
Everybody good finishes right there tall and level.
And that's the simplest way to think about it, is just to stand up or
And
come
when I
out of
say
that tilt.
stand up, you stand up out of your hip bend and you lengthen both legs. All right, let's hit one.
Okay. So in my setup.
So when you get up and finish tall and forward, what happened when you got up was the handle got up and the club head went down. That shallows the impact, lands the club on the trail edge and uses the bounce. And when you start making solid contact, all of a sudden that fear, anxiety you've had in the past, that calms down and you get confident on the golf course.
And that's what I'm searching for, because when I'm comfortable on a full swing shot, I just look exactly where I want it to go and swing away. Short game, I start to panic and I get quick, and that's when all the things start going the other way. So this is a simple thing for me to think about. Once I'm set up, once I've made my turn back, basically just stand up. The club will do the work. Yeah,
Sooner.
Even sooner than that.
The sooner, right from the start of the downswing, you need to be coming out of hip bend because that rises the grip and gets the club to shallow out earlier. You're ready, Jim.
Yep, that's
Thanks
beautiful.
so much.
Stan, thank you. Simple, easy, Orange Whip Golf. You got to feel it.